Welcome to Radiant Reiki with Carol. My name is Carol, and this channel is about all things spiritual. Today, we're going to be talking about communication from spirit. It can happen in so many different ways, and it's important to be able to recognize and see how these messages might be coming in, right? So much wisdom to be had by listening to spirit. And when I talk about spirit, what I'm talking about is your spirit guides. It could be God. It could be your loved ones on the other side that have crossed over. It could be anything, any of those things. It could be your higher self, who you are, is really communicating. There's a higher self that you have that's kind of up there in spirit, and they know why you're here, they know your purpose, and they're there to guide you. So any of those things could be, when I say spirit, that's what I'm talking about. It could be your higher self, God, angels. Angels love to talk to you. And it could be, of course, loved ones on the other side. They have lots more wisdom than we do too. So when I say spirit, that's what I'm talking about. So spirit wants to talk to us, and there's a number of different ways in which they could maybe communicate with us. Some of the ways that I get communication is, first of all, I cry. Now, this isn't because I'm getting emotional. Well, see, it is important to know that when you're talking with spirit or when you're getting messages from spirit, you get your messages from your heart space, not from your head. So not logic and all that kind of stuff. They work through your heart. So you got to listen to your heart. You know how the songs say that, listen to your heart. Well, that's what you got to do if you're going to listen to spirit, okay? They're going to come through your heart space. So sometimes when I get a message, and I might be talking to someone about something, and I'm like, yeah, and it's really cool if you do blah, blah, blah. Maybe you might want to try this. Then I start to cry, and it's not even something to cry about. It's not like I'm sad, I'm not emotional. That is a super wonderful, obvious sign that they're saying, yep, you got that right, Carol, that's the truth. So sometimes they'll give you an obvious sign like that. That's what happens with me. I don't know if it'll happen with you, but not everybody gets that. Another thing that happens, which is very common, is to get shivers. If you're talking to somebody and you're saying, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do blah, 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 and you get shivers, that means that's confirmation. Yes, that's what you should be doing, or yes, that's the truth. They're giving you confirmation. Way to go, Carol. That's it. So chills, sort of like chills. Another way that I know that they're actually here with me is like when I start my Reiki session and I call in my angels and guides and my ancestors, then all of a sudden, my whole body is hot. And the room just feels really hot, and it's not like something uncomfortable. It's just really hot. So it's again a nice obvious sign that says, whoa, they're here. How fun is this? Another way you might get a message is through a psychic. Psychics are wonderful interpreters for spirit. And the only thing is, you got to make sure when you go to a psychic that there's someone who has your same belief system, because they're going to use their belief system. They're going to interpret through the lens of their beliefs. So you got to make sure that you align with them. For me, my favorite one is my daughter. Her name's Claire, and I'll leave her information in the description box for any of you that want to go to a psychic. She does. You can do it on the phone. If you're not in where she lives in Portland, but you don't have to be in Portland. I do it by phone all the time. So a psychic is wonderful for answering specific questions, and she'll meditate and she'll write down what she gets from spirit. Sometimes she uses tarot cards. So she's great. If you want, the description box will have all her information. And another way to get messages is if you come to a Reiki session with me, I might be able to give you a message when you're on my table. This is a good time for me because I'm relaxed, just being the conduit for the energy healing. And that's when you're relaxed, that's when you get messages. So sometimes I often get messages for people on my table. Sometimes they're just a phrase, sometimes they're words. Sometimes I see a person, like a deceased loved one, or a pet that's in spirit. It's super cool. So that's another way you might be able to get messages, is in a Reiki session, but also just really being relaxed, like in nature, or listening to music, or anything you're doing that just has you relaxed is probably when they might be able to come in for you, right? There's also the clairs. If you're claircognizant, means that's just a knowing. And that's what I have. I'm claircognizant because all of a sudden I'll just know something. Usually it's in the morning, first thing when I wake up. That's when a great time to get messages, because your body is very relaxed, and before I even open my eyes, I'm like, sometimes get messages. So again, it's a knowing that I don't necessarily hear any words or anything like that. It's just, I know something, I think I should do this, whatever it is. That one's a little bit more difficult, because then you're wondering, is that my brain thinking that, or is that a message? And if you're not sure, you can always just ask your guides. Say, hey, was that a message? Is that something I should do? And then they'll probably give you shivers if it's a message, right? So that's claircognizant. Another clair is clairvoyant. That's the coolest. I love that. That's seeing a vision in your mind's eye. Sometimes it's a big vision. Sometimes it's just a little picture. It's a kind of a weak picture that you can just see in the distance. But when I see visions of someone that's on my table, my Reiki table, it could be an animal, it could be a person, like I said. So that's clairvoyant, being able to see something in your mind's eye, and that is definitely a message, and that's super obvious too. Clairsentient is being able to smell things, like for example, when I know that my mom is around, I might smell her perfume. I might smell a gardenia, because that was her favorite flower, and when there's no gardenias around, obviously. Whatever smell, like it could be even cigarette smoke, whatever the smell is, the first person you think of with that smell, and they've passed on, chances are they're visiting you. So make sure you watch for that. And clairaudient is being able to hear words or sounds in your mind's eye, in your head. That's clairaudient, being able to hear the messages that way. And so I get them actually all the different ways. I've had all of them. So any one of those might work for you. Another thing that I do, like for this video, every video that I do for you guys, I do automatic writing. And automatic writing is where you ask a question and then you just start writing. And it's not coming from your head, it's coming from them. Now, this doesn't work for everybody. I don't know if it works for everybody. I just know that it works for me. And it works for many people. So you may want to try that. I write the actual question on the paper, and I just know that they're going to tell me. So like I always say, what do you want me to do this video on this week? And I know they're going to tell me, because they do it every week. So I just know it happens, and then I just start writing. And then if you need clarification, you can say, well, what do you mean by that? I write the question down, and then they'll tell you the answer. It's the coolest thing. I'm just telling you, it's cool. So try automatic writing. It might work for you too. So remember, Spirit wants to communicate with you. Your loved ones want to communicate with you. So you just need to just recognize them. Another thing that they might do is throw feathers or coins in your path. that's also a communication. And it could be also a confirmation of whatever it is you're doing, that you're doing the right path, you're doing the right thing. Or it could be just like, hey, I love you. I'm watching you. I'm here with you. Whoa, see, I'm going to cry right there. So check it out. Look for those signs because Spirit really wants to communicate with you. And remember that Spirit cannot really communicate anything to you unless you ask. So you need to ask your angels, ask God, whoever you pray to, ask your spirit guides, ask. It doesn't matter who you ask. Just make sure you let them know, hey, please help me with this situation. They cannot help you or give you wisdom or give you answers if you don't ask. That's one of the laws of the universe. You have to ask for help. They're not going to intervene unless you ask. Okay? All right. Make sure you comment and tell me how you get messages. I would love to see that, and I'm sure other people would like to see that too. And like, share, and subscribe to help my channel grow. In love and light, I'll see you next time.